Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how I create this card rack saguaro using the combination of multi-loft in the curve workbench and Revolve in the part workbench. This is a real life picture of this. So we have a base. From here to here will be the left, and from here to here will be the body, and this guy over here is the tip. So in the end, I will fusion them, everything to be a single one. But when I model that, I model them differently, and I model the body first, and the tip, the left, and then the base. So this is how it look in FreeCAD. We have the base, a left, a body, and tips. Alright, so I start by creating a new sketch on the top view, and I will create a circle, and I will set the diameter to 50. I select in this sketch and go to extrude. Extrude this one up to 120, symmetric. Let me go up to the view and toggle axis cross to show the arrow. Next, I want to create in some details around the cylinder. I create a new sketch on the top view. View the section. And creating a rectangle. Something like this. Selecting this point, and the center line, hit S for symmetry constraint. Selecting this point and set the distance to 24. And the distance of this length will be 1. So I will extrude this rectangle to cut this cylinder. Selecting this one and go to extrude 200, symmetric. Okay. And I want to make a Polaroid around the cylinders before I want to cut. So I go to the drag workbench. And with this one selected, I go to the modification, array tool, and Polaroid. Reset point and set this to 30 copies. Click OK. Let me hide the grid. Now I go to the prod workbench. Control selecting the extrude and the array. And I go to cut. Okay, now you can see I have many details around here. The next step is I want to cut in between this cylinder, and after I cut that, I will have one surface up here and one surface down here, and I will use these two surfaces, and I will revolve to generate the geometry shape like this. Okay, actually my drawing is not good, so let me create a new sketch in the front, and I view the section, creating a rectangle on the green line. Selecting this point, and the center line, hit S for symmetry. Selecting this line and set the distance to 50 multiplied 2. Okay. So we have equal distance from top and also from bottom. Close. And then I will extrude this one to 100. Symmetric. Okay. Control selecting this one and this one. And I go to cut. Next, I will separate this face. So I want to use, because I want to use this face to revolve. So I will create another axis somewhere out here. And I'm using this axis and this surface to revolve around this axis to generate a new geometry. So let me create the axis first. I will go to the plot and shape builder. I select in Y from edges. I want to select in this edge. Click on this edge because this edge is on this plane. Okay, it's on this plane. So I need that. Then I create and then I close. And in the tree view, I have a new word. I click on the Y and go down to the placement position. I want to move it away from center in the x-axis. So click on the x-axis and I move it 50. So you can see I have a new line somewhere out here, but on this plane. I rename this one to axis 1. Okay. And in order to use the Revolve tool, I need to separate this face. So I go to the Curve Workbench and selecting this face and go to the parametric solid, and I have a new surface. Okay. Now we're ready to use the Revolve. I go to the Plot Workbench and selecting this face and go to the Revolve and select reference and click on this line as a reference line. And the angle will be 90 degrees. And I click OK. Now you can see the Revolve just go down. I click on the Revolve. I want to flip the direction. So I go down to the data. And the angle I set this to -90. Now you can see we just flip the rotation. So you can do the same with the face above here, but you can see this is the center of the scene in here. So I just simply go to the mirror. I click on the Revolve and I go to the mirror this one in the S and Y plane. So S is the red one and green is the Y one. So click OK. All right. The next step is I want to use this face right here, this big face right here, and I will revolve around the axis up here. Let me go off in the front view to show you. I want to create another axis. In here is the center of this arc. Okay, and I will use this axis and this big surface and I will revolve it around this one. Okay, actually to about here, just about here, so that I will have this geometry like this. So because right here, if I join these two faces together, I still have a line in here, so I don't like it. I don't like this line in here. So up here I have a clean face, so I will use this face instead. All right. So to use this face, let me go to the Curve Workbench and selecting this face and go to parametric solid. So I have another surface in here. Okay. And let me right click on it and go to transform and type in here 90 degrees for the rotation increment. And let me rotate this one 90 degrees in the y-axis. Click OK. All right, but you can see it's not in the position that I want. So I need to move it so that this one will touch this surface. Okay, let me go to the top view. And let me go to the drag workbench. In the drag workbench, in default is I select in this surface and go to the move tool. I will select this edge right here as the beginning position. And this one will be the next position. I click on it. Then I close. And you can say I just snap the new face onto this face right here, which is very nice. In order to have another axis up here, I just simply selecting the axis 1 and hit Ctrl C for copy and Ctrl V to paste it. Now I rename this one to axis 2. And for the axis 2, I want to move this one up in the z-axis. So we go down to the placement, position, and the z-axis, I set this up to 100. Okay. Now I can select in the, using the Revolve. I go to the Prod Workbench and click on this surface and go to the Revolve. Click on Select Reference and select in this line. And the angle will be 90 degrees. Click OK. Now you can see we have another revolve following up like this. Now in order to create the geometry up here, so that I will create another geometry like this. So on top will be smaller and smaller, and up here will be straight up and then getting smaller and smaller, and then so again I need to separate this face. So I go to the curve workbench with this face selected and parametric solid. Now I rename this one to 1. I will use the multi-loft tool. So multi-loft will loft multiple faces, allow you to loft multiple faces. That is parallel. They are parallel, okay? And right here I have the first face. So I will need another face. I will need another face exactly the same, but up here a little bit. When I use the loft tool, this face will control the tangency of the loft with the out face. And another face up here to control the thickness up here. And the last face up here smaller. So when I loft, it will generate a curve like this. So I will need 1, 2, 3, and 4 faces. So right now I have the first face. So I need to copy 3 more. So because I want the last one is smaller, so I need to scale that. In order to scale that, I need to use the clone tool. So I click on this one and go to the drag workbench and create 3 more copy. Click on it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And let's rename these guys. 2, 3, 4. I select the second, go to the transform, and the translation increment, I set this to 1. And let's just move this one up a little bit. Okay, somewhere around here. You can bring that a little bit up like this. Click OK. And for the next one, I go to the transform and let's move this one up to the location that you want. Somewhere around here. Okay. Click OK. And the last one, I will scale that. So maybe I should bring this one up a little bit for you easy to see. Bring this one up. Click OK. And I go down to the data for the last one. And the scale option, I set the x-axis to 0.0 and the y-axis to 0.0. Okay. Now you can see it jump into the position that I don't want. I want to bring this one back to the center of this one. So to do that, I go to the top view. And with the 4-1 selected, I go to the move tool. And let's select the center of this circle, selecting it. And make sure you turn on the center snap. Click on this one. And click on this one. And close. Alright, now you can see it jump into the center. Now I can move this one back up like this. Then I close. Then I go to the curse workbench. Control select 1, 2, 3, 4. And go to the multi-loft. Okay. Let me drop this one down and show all of these 4. And maybe I can select in the 4-1 and bring this one up even more. A little bit more. And bring the 3-1, bring this one up. Maybe the 4-1 a little bit more. Okay, something like this will be fine. Let me hide these two aces. Control select these two and hit spacebar to hide it. Okay. Now, right here, I have this one is a solid, and this one is a solid. This one also solid, and everything is solid. Okay. Let me hide these guys, all of these faces. And you can say in here I have a hole. So how can I fill this hole? I will use the roof surface to fill this hole. But because these 3 are solid and in the middle is the roof surface, so it's will be not working when I use this tool, the parametrics tool. To use this tool, you need to select faces. Just only faces around the model, so that and then you use this tool, this one will work. But in this case, this one is solid. We have faces inside, so you cannot use this tool if I still have these faces. So I need to remove these faces first. Okay. So before I remove these faces, I need to join them. Go to the part workbench. Now you can control select this face, this part, and then this part. Please 1, 2, 3, 4. And I go to the fusion union. All right. And I click on the new fusion and I go to the workbench and click on the downgrade, or you can use the hotkey D and N to turn all of these one into faces. Now I can select in this face and I just simply delete it. This face and delete it. This face and delete it. Okay, now we just delete all of 3, 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 faces now inside. All right. Now we have many faces in the tree view. Let me create a new group. And I shift select these faces from the first face to the last face and put that into a group. Okay. And then I can use the rule surface to fill in between. So I go to the part workbench and selecting this edge and then this edge and creating a rule surface. From in here, selecting this edge and this edge, rule surface. Let me select the multi-loft and rename this to tip. And let me hide the tip. Okay. Now I go to the curves workbench and hit Shift B and select all of these guys here and go to parametric solid. And we just create a new solid. All right, now I want to create 2 more copy of this one. So I go to Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste it 2 times. I select in the second one and go to the transform and I type in here 10 for the translation increment. Let's bring this one down. Okay, until it touch like this. And the rotation increment, I set this to 120. And I grab the blue one and rotate this to about here. Click OK. Doing the same for the solid 005. Go to the transform. And I move this one down. And I grab the blue one and rotate that like this. Okay. All right. Now we have 1, 2, 3 pieces. And then let me show the tip. For the tip, I also want to create 3 more copy of this. So I select the tip and I go to, because I want the tip to have the parametric, so that I will use the clone tool. I go to the drag workbench and creating 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 3 more. So 1, click on this one again, 2, 3, okay. And selecting the first one and go to the transform and rotate this one, grab the blue one and rotate it like this. Click OK. All right. And then you can move this one down like this. Okay, make sure this one touching. Okay. I grab the second one, go to the transform, and grab the blue one and rotate this like this. I grab this one and move this down like this. Okay. And the last one, this one. I grab the last one and go to the transform and move this one up. I select the clone and go to the move tool. Selecting the middle point of this face and come up here. Selecting the middle point of this face. And this is what we have. And if you want to change the tip, you just simply go to show one of these guy in here. You can changing the position of this guy, but don't change the position of the first one. Okay, change the first and the second one, just keep that. You can change the three position. Maybe you can change this one up like this. And you can say one of these tip also have the same effect. Very cool. Next, I will do the bottom part, the LED. So again, I will use the multi-loft tool. So let me go to the curves workbench. And then I select in this face and create parametric solid to generate the surface. And this is our first surface. We go to the front view and actually I want to make the LED smaller, so I need one face in here and another face exactly the same in here and another face down here smaller. So I need three faces. So again I will select in this face and I go to this rock workbench. So I will select in this one and creating two more copy. So go to the clone tool, select this one, go to the clone tool, and this one I rename this to stand 1, stand 2, stand 3. Okay. And for the last one, I go to the scale and set the S and Y to 0.7, a little bit smaller. And let's move this one down. Okay, somewhere around here. And the second one, let's move this one a little bit. A little bit like this. Not too much. Maybe just a little bit. Yeah. Okay, now I can use the multi-loft. Go to the curves workbench and shift select these 3, 1, 2, 3, and go to the multi-loft. Okay. Now this is what we have. Maybe I should make this one smaller a little bit. So let me go to the 3, go to the transform and move this one down. Yeah. Okay. Now I can create the base. Let me select in this face down here and go to the part workbench and create a new sketch based on this face and view the section. And let me create a circle. Set the diameter to 150. Close. Let me extrude this one. Down in the z-axis, -1 for, let's try 10 for that. Yes. And then you can combine them together. So let me select these three and go to the fusion, because you can select everything if you want, but it will take longer, will take time longer. So let me go to the union. Okay, now I have the fusion. Click on the fusion and selecting the base and this one. Go to the fusion again. Okay, now I have this fusion 001. And let me select in the fusion 001 and select all of these four. And go to the fusion, the last one. So we take a little bit long time. So now it's working fine. And then you can go down here and select this edge and this edge. Fill that. One. Okay, so that's it for the tutorial. So thanks for watching and see you in the next video.